Hi everyone, this week we will be starting a new unit called biopsychology. So we do a bit of biopsychology in year 12 and it's pretty much the biology side of psychology. So we're looking at how our biology can impact our behaviour. In this week's lesson, we will be looking at the nervous system. So that's what we're going to do today, and we will pick up biopsychology again in year 13. We're just going to start off with a few topics in biopsychology to begin with. So this would be part of approaching, because again, it's pretty much the biology of our psychology, so the biology of our behaviour. So to start off with, I want you to think about a time you remember feeling scared or nervous, and how did your body react? So I would like you to pause this video and think about how your body reacted. Did you notice your heart was beating a little bit faster? Did you notice maybe your pupils were dilating? Do you remember that possibly your mouth became a bit more dry? So think about that and think about why that might happen. Okay, so in today's lesson, we're going to be identifying the different divisions of the nervous system, whilst outlining their functions, explaining how the nervous system works, using real-life scenarios to apply it to, and also differentiating between the nervous system and endocrine system. What is the difference between these two systems? And so some key terms that we have today are the nervous system, the peripheral nervous system, endocrine, and the AMS. And we have so many more key terms, as you do with psychology. We always have new key terms, and we're going to find out what they mean. I hope you know what the nervous system is already, so that should not be new to you. Okay, so have a look at this graphic, this little visual, and I want you to draw this anywhere, so if it's in your notebook or keep your psychology notes, but I want you to draw out this picture so that you have a visual representation of what the nervous system is. Okay, so the nervous system essentially is how our body communicates within our organs and with the outside environment. So we have two subdivisions of the nervous system, and they are the central nervous system and also the peripheral nervous system. So if we look at the central nervous system, we know that the CNS is already made up of the brain and the spinal cord. And again, the spinal cord is pretty much just an extension of the brain. And then we have the PNS, so the peripheral nervous system. And this is then further subdivided into the autonomic nervous system and also the sympathetic nervous system. And we're going to be looking at the difference between these two and looking at how the sympathetic nervous system comes into play as well as the parasympathetic nervous system comes into play. So this is just the nervous system as a whole. So again, the nervous system, what is it? So pretty much the main functions, and it has two main functions. One of them is to collect, process and respond to information in the environment, and the other one is for the cells to coordinate different organs and cells in the body. So coordinating and managing different organs in our cells, in our body. So again, like I said, it's the body's communication system, so how our body communicates with our organs and also our environment. Okay, so as you know, the brain is the center of awareness. I'll just let you guys have a read of this particular slide. I don't have to read it out to you, but the brain is pretty much vital in our everyday being. If we did not have a brain, we would pretty much be dead. So the brain is so important in human beings. And yeah, we have two hemispheres, so we have the left and right hemisphere. The spinal cord is an extension of the brain and it's important in transporting messages. So it's pretty much responsible for reflex actions. So what the central nervous system will do is it will pass messages to and from the brain and also connect different nerves to the peripheral nervous system. So the brain and the spinal cord are pretty important in being able to connect our nerves to another nervous system in our body to communicate to ensure that everything is working the way that it should. The peripheral nervous system again passes messages to and from the CNS. So as I said, it's further subdivided into two subsystems, so the autonomic nervous system. And one way in which you should remember the autonomic nervous system is that it sort of sounds like automatic. So this means that it will control automatic processes and functions in our body. This includes breathing, this includes our heart rate, our stress responses, etc. Okay? So if I'm breathing, I don't need to think about breathing, it happens to me automatically. The somatic nervous system receiving information from sensory receptors. So it's mainly concerned with our muscle movements and our skeletal movements as well. So all to do with our muscles and the ability to respond to different sensory receptors. Okay, again, this is just more information on the somatic system, somatic nervous system. I'm not going to read it out to you because you're able to do that, but just make sure you're aware of the different functions of it. Okay, and with the autonomic system, autonomic nervous system, we have the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system, and their actions are antagonistic. So this means that the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system work in opposition of each other. So, for example, in the parasympathetic nervous system, what generally happens is that our pupils will constrict. However, because the sympathetic nervous system is antagonistic, it means that if while our body is using the sympathetic division, our pupils might dilate in opposition to the parasympathetic division, where our pupils actually might constrict. So they work in opposition to each other. So what I have in our OneDrive is a little worksheet for you to complete, and I want you to think about what you think the different nervous systems will do to different parts of our body. So what the parasympathetic branch or parasympathetic division does is it generally maintains and conserves body energy. So it means that it makes sure that we're not using much energy. And so, for example, again, it will constrict our pupils, so that will mean that we're not using that energy for our body in order for it to be maintained. Whereas the sympathetic branch prepares the body to expend energy for flight or flight. So again, our pupils will be dilated. So we need to use that energy to either make a decision of if we're going to fight or if we're going to fly, pretty much. So the sympathetic branch is important in fight or flight, but we'll get to that in a second. Okay, so again, they act in parallel, but often have opposing effects. So just take a look at that and how our body reacts to it. So sympathetic division generally prepares the body to expend energy for fight or flight, and the parasympathetic division generally maintains and conserves body energy and functions. Okay, and I have a YouTube clip. You can make notes on body responses, so have a watch of this YouTube clip and look at the effects of stress on the body. So, when the autonomic nervous system is activated, it means that we become alert and it means that we become aroused. Okay, so if we have a stressor in our environment, what the hypothalamus will do, so the hypothalamus is a gland in our body, and it will release noradrenaline, which is a hormone, and this will activate this sympathetic branch that we've just been speaking about on the previous slide. So the autonomic nervous system, okay, so something in our environment will activate the autonomic nervous system. So it happens automatically. And if we find ourselves in a stressful situation, so let's say I'm crossing the road and the car suddenly really speeds up and is right next to me. Automatically, I'm alerted and I'm aroused, okay? And that car becomes my stressor. So what the hypothalamus will do is release that hormone to alert my body that, hey, Miss Duarte, you need to run or you need to fight this car that's in front of you. So the fact that I know that I need to maybe fight this car means my heart will be beating, my pupils will be dilated, and my digestion will be sharp. Maybe my bladder might open up a little bit. Okay, so this body, the body, communicating within itself is preparing me to fight or to fly. Okay, alright. So, in the situation that I just presented to you, what I might do is I might start sweating, my heart might beat even faster, I might breathe really heavily. Okay, and why does this happen? It happens because our body is communicating. Okay, so the CNS, my central nervous system, has processed what's happening. So because my central nervous system is made of my brain and my spinal cord, and we already said our brain is the center of awareness, so it has become alerted, it is aware of what is happening. It then goes to my spinal cord, which then passes on the message to the PNS. Okay, so the natural reflex would be I'm running. Pretty much because I can't fight a car, to be honest. So automatically, because my body is alerted, different bodily functions will either increase or decrease. So my heart rate might increase, my breathing might increase. Okay, and this is what happens for the sympathetic nervous system. Okay, it's really preparing my body. Where you might be asking what happens with the parasympathetic branch. Okay, so at some point my body will slow down, okay, and I might feel more relieved. So I might find a spot where I feel safe, and once that happens, that means my parasympathetic nervous system begins to work. Okay, so the sympathetic nervous system, if you think of it as sympathizing with your body, so when you're in the presence of a stressor, it's sympathizing with your body to ensure that you're able to fight or flight or to engage in fight or flight. However, the parasympathetic nervous system, as I said, it's antagonistic, so it's very slow, okay, and it might take several minutes for me to calm down. So think about when I'm running, my heartbeat has increased, and it doesn't take me long to expend energy. However, when I'm trying to conserve that energy again and I'm trying to maintain that, I might be breathing for a lot longer to try and get my breath back, to try and get my body to go back to how it was. Okay, so it's constantly shifting our body between prepared state and more relaxed states as well. So again, just have a read of this. I don't want to read it to you because you can literally see it on the screen. But yeah. Okay, so here we have some exam questions. You're welcome to do it. This one's 4 marks, so it's identify the 2 components of the peripheral nervous system and explain 2 differences in their organization and functions. So read the command word telling us to identify something, and it's telling us 2, not 1, not 5, but 2 components of the peripheral nervous system. And we already know that 2 components of the peripheral nervous system are the autonomic nervous system and the somatic nervous system. So you need to explain the differences between the 2, okay? So what are the differences between the 2? It's very important. So this brings us to the end of our lesson. If you have any questions, please let me know. I just wanted to walk you through it. All of the resources are on the OneDrive. Again, you have access to the online textbook as well, so make use of that. And please, if you have any questions, let me know. I know this is very biology heavy, so if you're confused about any of the terms or anything I've said, let me know, and I can see if I can assist you. But yeah, that's the end of this, so have a good week and enjoy writing. I doubt you will, but enjoy anyway.